Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 6. It's called Changing. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. This was a pretty great episode of Supergirl.
Hard to argue with that.
Because it's funny, because they'd been handling the Alex stuff fairly well, and that continued to be impressive in this episode. Probably the most
Yeah.
impressive it's been. They also had some good action stuff, good villain that I really enjoyed. Um,
Yeah.
but on top of all that, and the first thing I think we should talk about, and the most surprising part, is that all the Guardian stuff with Jimmy was actually pretty
Wasn't
good.
it wasn't awful.
Yeah,
First things first, the suit looks infinitely better in the show than any of the promo shots.
it does. To be fair though, I feel like CW's promo shots always look terrible for some reason.
Yeah, but this was the most drastic. I feel like that promo shot looked almost nothing like what it actually is.
I can see, I can see it. Like when I look at it and I look at the poster, I can.
But when I
Yeah,
saw it like this was nothing like what I was expecting from the promo shots.
you were expecting something that was clunky.
Yeah, it always everything in the suits made it look really big and oversized in all the promo shots, and this it wasn't.
Nah, it was a lot more sleek, a lot more advanced, techie kind of thing.
Very
Uh,
form fitting.
but I think what impressed me the most out of this, it's not even the suit. The suit's like, yeah, sure, it's better, but like that wasn't what I was worried about this
No,
storyline.
but it was
Yeah,
it was just something that was bothering me since I'd seen it.
but the other stuff in this episode was actually like the first scene where it was like before we even get to the fighting and when he shows up in costume, when he goes to see Win and he's like, I need this suit now. And Jimmy gets really angry and like starts like making demands and like
Mm.
almost like a just we've never really seen him be this way on the show. Like he actually
Yeah,
starts shouting at Win, and then Win starts shouting back like, "Don't boss me around, you're not," you know.
yeah,
I actually thought that scene was kind of well done, which is weird because I think the biggest concern I had getting into all this crap was that this would feel unnatural and Jimmy would be like he was being weird and it wouldn't fit his character and but
yeah.
that confrontation oddly played really well with like my views on it, you know.
I think it's because you've got Win there, who's playing the logical viewer, that it
Yeah,
works.
I think that's right, and I think because he also gets angry and says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, tone, like watch your
Yeah,
tone because you're already pushing it." You know,
yeah.
I am going along with this. I'm making you a stupid suit. You know,
But he's not afraid to go. Look, you're just going to get killed if you do it wrong.
yeah. But no, I
Which,
thought the acting from both of them was quite good in that scene. I thought as well. Like I
yeah,
was
definitely.
genuinely quite surprised, and when he actually shows up in the suit, I actually thought his fighting parts of the episode were actually really well done. Like the way he was like dodging things, and then the way his shield kind of pops out of the suit, like in the arm, like a sort of
And the way he was using the shield as well,
yeah,
like it worked.
it did. Now,
But also,
admittedly,
just to get, I like that Win says the suit's not finished.
hmm,
So I'm, I'm assuming we're going to get the gold yellow helmet.
okay,
I mean, that's coming, right?
it's still to be painted. It's like this is
Yeah, yeah.
rushed out the door. Yeah. No, but like the way he was dodging things and like you putting his shield up and like I guess my only criticism of it is I don't necessarily buy that Jimmy has all these athletic skills, but other than that,
So you say that, but he is a very athletic-looking man.
oh he is. That's true. He is. He's definitely in shape.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess that helps.
It probably does. But no, I was legitimately surprised. Even his like disguised voice kind of worked.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I was oddly, pleasantly surprised.
I agree.
So fair play, fair play. Guardian, Jimmy as Guardian did not suck, at least so far. So
Yeah.
no, and even the little conversation afterwards, where they refer to each other as super friends, was kind of charming and kind of touching, and
It was, and just proves once again that Win has chemistry with everyone.
yeah, yeah. Although these people really need to stop referring to themselves as heroes. It's really weird and kind of egotistical.
It is egotistical, but I mean, I guess they've built up an ego at this point.
it's the sort of thing that other people call you. You never refer to yourself as a hero.
Yeah, I get that. But that's kind of the whole empowerment aspect of the show anyway, isn't it? That they accept that, they are good at what they do. They are heroes, essentially.
You're right. You're right. It's just weird to hear people just say it about
It is
themselves.
weird, but it kind of, if it was going to be in any show, it makes sense in this one.
Yeah. So yeah, the other plot lines. Of course, the main plot, we have a Dr. Jones, which every time they said Dr. Jones, I couldn't help but think of Indiana Jones. Every time.
It's such a common name anyway.
No, but Dr. Jones, come on.
Yeah, I know a Dr. Jones.
That's different. That's real life. That's
No, that's
happenstance.
what I mean. That's how common a name it is. So it's
It made
just
me
like,
think of it. I just did. But anyway, this whole plot starts like the Thing. Like we're in our Arctic sort of. It's actually, I think it's Norway. I think they said, but
it's Norway. Yeah.
yeah. But basically, an Arctic research facility, and that they're surrounded by snow. There are scientists doing lab research, and disease like comes in, and even the way that it grabs his hand in the stomach is very the Thing, which I'm not complaining about. I love that kind of stuff. So
Definitely.
I'm all for that. But the actor who plays him actually, he was an actor on Lost. He was also in a movie a couple of years ago called Another Earth, which I quite liked. So he's got one of those faces that pops up every so often in various things.
One of those.
So yeah, he turns out to be Parasite, which I didn't actually necessarily get that it was Parasite at the start of the episode, just because it just kind of felt like a generic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when he started absorbing energy, well, it crossed my mind, but it didn't look like Parasite. So I was like, oh, okay.
Now he eventually looked like Parasite though,
Yeah, he did.
and when he looked like Parasite, it looked quite good.
It did. Shockingly good.
Yeah, that's just what I was saying. Like the Guardian stuff, obviously included in this, but that entire final act of them fighting on the street and Supergirl coming in and Parasite, like all of it looked really good. Like I was actually really into it. Like
Yeah.
so delivered on the Guardian stuff, it's delivered on the main action plot. If I have any complaints about the episode, really, it would be that early on in the episode when Dr. Jones is giving his spiel about harming the planet, it does go into sort of PSA territory. Just his dialogue, the way he's talking about it.
Yeah, also a lot of it feels disconnected from the end result. Like, I mean, I get they've tried to give him some sort of backstory, but it doesn't feel like it actually matters by the end. Like, you get him at the Arctic Research Lab, and then there it makes sense. But then all this stuff after, it doesn't build to anything. It doesn't go anywhere. He just turns into Parasite, and then what?
No, it does build to one thing. It gives them a reason to know where he's going because he goes
Sure,
after the
but
same targets.
yeah, but it feels kind of. It didn't need to be so in depth just for them to go, oh, this is the targets he's targeting. We could have got that just from the people. If we'd seen the people he killed, they could have gone, oh, this is the pattern. We didn't need to see him giving the speeches still.
So, I mean, I had a problem with the speeches, but it was just because they were so on the nose and they felt like like I say, a PSA instead of actual dialogue. But
Yeah, I just don't feel like we needed to hear him at all.
I don't think they spent too much time on it though, so it wasn't really bothering me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Probably the most emotional, impactful storyline of the episode, though, of course, was Alex, who it kind of kind of like came out to Maggie last week and admitted that she was probably gay, but this week when she sees her again, like Maggie's like, no, like the first thing you really should do, obviously you're going through a whole whirlwind of emotions and all that, you should, come out to your family, which in this case just means Kara. Although her mother does exist and is alive, so she should probably do that off screen at some point as well. Just
Yeah, I guess the point is she doesn't see her that often, so it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be as immediate.
yeah, whereas Kara's there every day, and yeah.
Yeah.
So we have this. We have like 2 or 3 really great scenes. One where she goes to Kara for the first time and they go for a walk, and she comes out. And I thought the acting here was really, really great because it was every time she left the scene, in all 3 of these examples, she left sort of in like a new influx of emotion because of the conversation she just had.
Yeah.
And each one of them worked really well. Like she got really upset here and like said, I don't want to talk about it anymore, and like went away. And then later on, when she tried to kiss Maggie, and she sort of like said, I came out to Kara and she tried to kiss, and Maggie kind of shoots her down for yeah, you came out, you're fresh, these never work out, which I don't completely buy from her. I almost feel like that's just an excuse.
It does. It does feel a bit like an excuse.
It's one of those things where people always say it in like a, but not specifically this one. The one that people always use in movies and TV is the rebound thing. Oh, you shouldn't date someone who's just out of a relationship. But and I feel
Yeah.
like there's some truth to it, but in real life it's more flexible and it's not
Yeah.
this hard rule. Whereas so whenever anyone uses it, it's always like that's just an excuse for you just don't like them or another reason that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But no, but then the way she like tries to pretend she's okay, but she's clearly like tearing up as she's leaving,
Yeah.
worked really well. I thought the kiss was impactful. I thought uh, both the first conversation with Kara and the second conversation with Kara, where she properly comes out and it just like Kara asking all these questions because she's not really even sure what to say,
Yeah.
and like so. Do you like her? What's she like? And just hearing Alex describe Maggie with the affection that she, is openly talking about her in an affectionate way, rather than she's let's pretend she's my friend and she's just
Yeah.
this. She talks about her being beautiful and all that. The part about that I really liked though was when was talking about when she was in high school and she was talking about her best friend and how thinking back on it, she actually really liked like having sleepovers and like lying in the same bed as her, but it
Yeah.
never really occurred to her that's what it was at the time,
Yeah.
and she kind of repressed it. I actually really liked that story.
Fair enough.
It felt very, I don't know. As someone who's not went through this, that felt like a very true to life story. It felt very real to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
I don't know. I bought it. Like it didn't feel like a made for TV. Backstory of secretly gay person. It felt
Oh
like
no, definitely not.
it felt like a real thing. I bought it, which was cool. But no, all of it really good. And then the final scene when Kara like tries to come in after Alex is upset about the whole being shot down, and she flies round to get in the window
Yeah.
because
Boundaries, Kara. Someone doesn't want you in the house. Maybe don't just fly in the window.
But again, it made for a really good scene when she's like crying and Kara holds her, and all of it had full of emotion. Although I will admit, I did kind of laugh when she said I'm almost 30 because I know the actress is actually 44,
Hmm.
and I thought, look, you do look younger than your age, but I'm not quite buying you in your 20s. All right, just
Yeah.
Thoughts, feelings, Connor. You've been very silent and nodding the whole time.
I don't know. I just feel like this. I agree with what you're saying here. That, like you say, it was very well done. It wasn't typical TV, what you expect from it. It was authentic, I guess is the word.
Authentic, that's a good word. Joe, I think it is. Joe, I think it really surprises me about it and has really impressed me with it is it's on the CW, right? And CW typically has this is a relationship scene that you expect from the CW. And the other CW shows other superhero shows have been guilty of this. Legends of Tomorrow last season, we were raging and screaming at it about how awful one of their forced relationships was.
Yeah, well, bloody googie.
Even in Flash, it's had scenes or episodes where they've had a forced relationship, or even ones that, even like Caitlyn and Ronnie in Flash. Yeah, it was okay, but nothing ever really.
There's even been times where they've played it awkwardly with Barry and Iris. To be fair,
Yeah, it's been getting a lot better though. This season's actually been an
it
improvement.
has, but like it's season one. I can think of some times where it was just awkward.
On the nose, soap opera-esque stuff. Yeah. Whereas I feel like this did feel really authentic, and each scene on its own, like it's one of these things where I keep being, it's funny because I keep saying this about this show because I'm worried about Jimmy being a superhero, and it's actually not that bad. At each of these scenes, I'm kind of worried that it's going to go into CW soap opera melodrama. It's going to feel like it's part of the OC or something. I don't even know if that was on CW. I don't think it was. I think it was on Fox. But like that kind of thing. These teen romance drama bollocks.
Yeah.
And it actually had weight. It had depth. It had
It
genuine
rarely
emotion.
actually does go into that, even though you're so often
Yeah.
afraid of it.
Yeah.
You'd think by now it might have earned our trust, but it still hasn't.
Well, it's funny because Kara and Jimmy last year were bordering on it a couple of times, and we were dreading them getting together, but they really impressed us in the first episode of this season by going, you know what, that wasn't working. Let's not do that.
Yeah, just killed it off instantly.
Yeah. Almost unnaturally, but at the same time, it's like, no, they're recognising what's working and what's not, and they've have
Yeah.
put a stop to it, and that was good. Like, I really appreciated that. But no, here I think we appreciated it a lot in the last episode. You know, when she admits to Maggie that she has feelings like this. But I think all the scenes in this one actually topped that one.
Oh, definitely.
So I think this was a emotionally satisfying episode from that storyline. I think it was an action-packed episode from the Parasite stuff. And then the last plot line that we've not really touched on yet is the Mon-El side of things. What should we call this? Mon-El, in the douchiest way possible, trying not to be a douchebag.
Yes. I'm gonna start. Let's start. I love drunk Kara.
Oh, actually, yeah. We need to rewind and go to drunk Kara, because we start off with them in the bar. Now, my first thought was, wait a minute, Kara can get drunk? Because we know in the Flash that Barry can't get drunk. Now, obviously not the same. He's a speedster, a metahuman, and she's an alien. I can buy that there's differences. But I think traditionally, Superman's not really been able to get drunk, so which is why I just assumed...
But it's different. It's alien alcohol.
Well, I was getting to that, yeah.
So it's just like, I'll allow it.
Once it happened, I was like, okay, you know what? Alien alcohol, I'll buy it. And even if that wasn't the case, I would let it go. And I'll tell you why I let it go. Because every second, every single look, every single word that came out of her mouth was phenomenal for the next 5 minutes.
Oh, it was possibly my favourite 5 minutes of the episode. I'm not saying something.
I wouldn't go that far, but just the way they sort of like drag her back into the DEO, and she's looking up at Jean. You're tall.
It was when Alex comes in and she says, "You're slurring your words." She's like, "Am I?" Chocolate. Oh, that was cracking me up.
That was really good. It's so weird that it was basically all before the title. Like, you know, it was those first few minutes, but it was really funny. It was.
Oh, I want it more often.
Hey, we've got this alien bar. We can go back there.
We can, and she can get drunk at any time now.
I love it though, because like Jean, because they're assessing this situation at the research base, and Jean turns out, right, me and Kara will fly to, and he looks over, and she just like passed out on the computer.
Yeah,
so
like, well, me and Alex will take the jet.
Yeah. Oh dear, but no, really fun stuff. But yeah, so she trains Mon-El a little bit. They have a fun little training sequence where she's
Which actually looked really good.
Which again, yeah, I think they're doing a really good job of making just the simplest little fights feel kind of, interesting and,
Yeah, when she does like the run up the wall flip thing,
yeah.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Why is Arrow struggling so much? I don't
understand. Like, this isn't even a show about like hand-to-hand combat, really. There's been moments, but it's not.
That said, I feel like with the Guardian there we'll get a lot more.
All right, okay, but up till this point, it hasn't been. Yet every single time it's done it, it's looked pretty great. And then Arrow, they have a punch out.
Don't remind me of that season finale with Damien Dark. Don't remind me of that.
Still annoyed at it.
Oh dear. But yeah, so Mon-El, it turns out he's using his muscle, or he's using his powers to be muscle for hire. He's basically a loan shark kind of guy, going up and beating people up. Aliens specifically.
Yeah.
Which Kara's not very happy about. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not a hero. And even he has a nice little arc in this one, because he shows up, because Kara and Jean, like, both of them are taken out of the fight, because the Parasite, when he turns into like looking like Parasite, he like absorbs power from both of them, and he makes them both look like basically like almost like mummified kind of thing, where the skin's all sucked in.
Yeah, like dehydrated.
Yeah. And yeah, so they're both out, and this is what convinces Wynn that it's time to give James his suit to go and fight, and it's also what kind of gets Mon-El to, although after Alex again has another cool little scene with him and basically tells him he's a coward and that he should go out and fight. I enjoyed that too. But no, him showing up and trying to fight Parasite and mostly failing, but at least saving that little girl with the car, which looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a nice moment.
Yeah. It was like he was failing for the most part, but he did do one thing that was really good.
Yeah, I loved how the shot as well played to the Action Comics number one.
Yeah, it was that exactly
nice.
was holding the car.
Yeah,
nice touch. But no, of course the ending though is that if I have one other complaint about the episode, is that I do feel it's a bit weird that he walks past the homeless guy and then decides to go back and try and help him. It's like, you have super strength. What are you going to do for the homeless guy?
And it's also very convenient, isn't it, that this homeless guy happens to be waiting for him.
Yeah, it's a bit convoluted that he happens to be a plant.
Yeah, it's like, hang on. If you're waiting for Mon-El, why would you expect him to help if you've looked at him at all?
Exactly. So that doesn't quite work. So Mama Luther and Cadmus nab him with a stun rod, which apparently affects him. Although, given that they're Cadmus, I'll assume it's zooped up to unnatural amounts.
My other little complaint is Kara defeats Parasite by getting the plutonium, and she just has that out in the open. I mean, that should be, protected, because you're letting all that radiation out just throughout the whole city here.
That's a fair point. That's one of those sciencey things, though, that they're just going to gloss over and we're never going to bring up. And I'm like,
I get that, but if you're going to make a point of having her not look under Guardian's helmet because it's all lead, maybe put some lead around the damn radioactive materials.
Do you know what? I'm glad they addressed that, because I was like, wait, why wouldn't she just look through the map?
That was my first thought as well.
And then she tries it and it's like, oh, it's lead. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I actually kind of liked how she played off with him as well when she didn't know who it was. She was kind of like, lead, eh?
Yeah.
Just this sort of mild distrust kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
it was good.
But no, that was a good episode. I will say that, other than maybe the first two, which were the Superman ones, this is probably the best episode of the season so far.
Yeah. I'm also interested to see what ramifications the blood transfusion has for Jean.
Of course, yeah. Obviously, Kara heals quicker than he does, because obviously get enough sunlight, solar rays in you if you're Kryptonian, and you get back up on your feet. Whereas Jean lost a lot of blood, so he needs a transfusion. And of course, they think that Miss Martian is also a Green Martian, so she can, give him blood. But she knows that she's a White Martian, so she tries to get out of it, and then she eventually just lets it happen because, well, it's better than let him die. But presumably, this will have an effect on him, and this is how he will figure out that she is not exactly what she says she is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what the effect is.
I have no idea. Like, will he maybe, I don't know, start getting memories of a White Martian or something and, sympathize, or I don't know.
I don't know, because it's impossible to judge because it's Martian biology, isn't it?
They could make anything up they want, and we could we'll eat it up because it's Martians. What do we know?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the great thing here. They can just say whatever the hell they want, and we have to go with it. So bonus for them.
But yeah, actually, I just want to rewind back to the start of the episode. I love that it opens in the bar. Like, we've got this new setting where the characters can just hang out.
It's so much better than them always hanging out at the DEO.
Yeah. And it's also funny that the only time we've seen Catcall was just that one scene towards the end with Jimmy and Wynn. And I'm like, surely just have an excuse for him to leave, because you're basically keeping this set around that it probably costs you money, because you could rebuild it into another set that you need. And you're just, and you're barely using it anymore.
But hopefully Kara will, start actually doing the journalist stuff a bit more, and we'll get some more on that side of the story, and it'll be worth it again.
Yeah, but even then, she's not up there.
No, that's true.
But hey, I don't
keep her down in the office.
Then I suppose you have to keep it for the odd guest appearance from a Cat. You're going to have her office there.
Yeah.
So she can.
And if they've got the set, they might as well make the most of it.
True. But no, that was a really good episode. It was hitting every plot line. All of them were hitting. Even the one that I was expecting to be bad was good.
Yep.
So I can't ask for more than that. I really can't.
Very good episode.
Yeah. Like I say, a couple of minor complaints, but nothing really.
Yeah.
Nothing that really hampers much. So, no, they've done a fantastic job with Alex. I'm looking forward to see where that goes. Looking forward to see where the Jean stuff goes. Cadmus stuff and whatever. And we only have one more actually before the one that's the start of the crossover. Now, admittedly, with Supergirl, it's only the tail end of the episode, I believe, that's going to be part of the crossover. But just keep
we
that
might
in
still
mind.
have the majority of a regular episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they keep phrasing it like that. I'm not sure. Do they literally mean there's just going to be a couple of scenes at the end, or it'll be something where there's a subplot that's building up to it at the end? You know what I mean? How are they actually going to?
See, the thing is, I can see it being played as literally an ending scene of
Yeah.
Flash showing up.
Yeah. Which, yeah, because I can see how they'll do it. Actually, that'll actually be set at the end of the episode of Flash, or halfway through, because they'll have to set up that the threats that the Dominators are here, and we'll have Barry say, "Oh wait, we've got an ally that you don't know about," and then he'll go and get her and bring her in, and that'll just be where that was set. Like,
Yeah.
That's how they'll probably do it.
And it'll literally be like a scene, like the tag at the end, essentially.
Yeah, basically the homeless man scene from this one.
Yeah. The homeless man.
It just cracks me up.
I know.
He goes back, he's like, "Oh, I've got super strength. Homeless man, how can I help you? Would you like me to rob a bank for you?" Okay. Alright, that's Supergirl episode 6 we're on? Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah. Yeah, and Flash is still on 6. Yeah, it's because Flash had a break last week and all the numbers are all weird and...
You have to actually keep track of them now.
Yeah, and Legends is taking a break next week, so that's going to be offset from Supergirl. The whole thing's just...
Oh, damn it.
But anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Let us know what you thought of this episode. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. But yeah, Supergirl's great. We'll see you next time.